it's Denise here from luckybitch.com, and today I've got a very special Christmas blog for you. Today we're talking about 5 things you can do to make sure that your money blocks aren't triggered too much over the holiday period. It's the time of the year and it can be very stressful for some people, but it doesn't have to be because we are lucky bees. So I've got some really great tips for you today. Now, the first thing I want to acknowledge is that this holiday time can be really exciting for some people, and for others it can be really, really stressful. So don't beat yourself up over that. It can be a really kind of triggering experience to spend time with your family and loved ones over Christmas, particularly if you've been spending a lot of time working on your personal development, working on your money blocks. You still might be quite vulnerable to other people's energies. So here are some tips to get through the holiday period without triggering your money blocks too much. So, tip number 1, have a go-to response when your family asks you about triggering topics, maybe about things like your business. Now, you might come together with your family and you might have someone in your family who constantly kind of goes, "Oh, what are you doing with your business again? Like, are you qualified to do that?" And they really kind of make you feel crap. So here's the thing. You don't have to tell them the ins and outs of your business. You don't have to tell them how many clients you have. You don't have to tell them anything you don't want to. So just have a really simple go-to response. And it can be really like, "Hey, it's doing great. Thanks so much for asking." It can be just as simple as that. Now, my family used to ask me about my books all the time. They'd be like, "Oh, how's your book going?" Because to them, a book meant a real business, right? Even though a book was, just such a small part of my business. And I would start to go, "Well, actually, like a book is just one overall part of my marketing plan. I actually have a lot more in my business," and blah, 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 blah. And I could just see their eyes glaze over, or it would lead into more kind of uncomfortable, awkward conversations about, "Oh, you help people with money? Like, how does that work?" So I just decided my go-to response was just going to be, "Oh, it's going great. Thank you so much for asking." Easier said than done, I know, but the thing is, your business isn't any of their business. And if telling them all the ins and outs leads to some awkward stuff or makes you feel crap about yourself, hey, guess what? You don't have to do it. Which leads me to tip number 2. Get really good at changing the subject. Now, remember that game? I don't know if you ever played it as a kid, but you would take turn asking each other questions and you weren't allowed to say yes or no. You had to kind of basically counter with a question. Now, I got really, really good at that. And now you can do the same thing over the holidays. So instead of having to answer all stuff about your business or about money or anything that would make you feel kind of stressed, even if a relative asks you, "Well, how much did you pay for that?" If that sort of thing triggers you, well, then just get really good at changing the subject. So you can just go, "Oh, I love this dip. What's in it?" Like completely bypass what they've just asked you. Or, "Yeah, it's doing great. So how about you? What's new with you?" And people love talking about themselves. So just keep on putting it back to them. Change the subject again and again. And by the end of it, they'll feel great because people love talking about themselves. So they'll be like, "Oh, she's such a great conversationalist." But it won't lead you down the path of talking about things that you don't want to or that could be potentially awkward. So tip number 3 is, let me think. Oh, yes, I remember. Yeah, I should totally cut that out, but I won't. Is when it comes to presents, and you can see there's no presents yet under my tree. There will be soon. We've got toddlers. You can't put presents out prior to Christmas Day, by the way. If presents trigger you, there are a couple of ways around it. So you could just straight out ask people to get you what you want them to get you. Direct them. Don't just assume and don't make it a test of their love. It's like, well, if they love me, my parents will finally get me the present that I know that I'll love. And it's like, no, don't test them. Just tell them what you want. That's a really sure way of triggering all your old money stuff, is to continue something that has triggered you in the past. So if you know that your parents are terrible at buying presents and they've always forgotten what you like and they always forget your favorite colors. Well, hey, guess what? Don't test them again as a test of like, oh my God, how much do they love me? Just tell them. Say, hey, mum and dad, just in case, you need some guidance on what to get me for Christmas this year, here's a link. Or, you know what, I would love an Amazon gift voucher. Make it really easy and just direct them. Don't worry about, if people don't buy you the right stuff, just tell them. Which brings me to my fourth point. If you get presents that you don't like and it does trigger old memories, hey, guess what? You don't have to keep them. You do not have to keep them. You can say thank you graciously, and if it triggers old memories, then that's something you have to deal with later, which is step number 5, that's fine. But you can go straight from their house and drop it off at the charity store. Someone else is going to love that. If you get presents a bit before Christmas, and you've opened it, you don't like it, hey, guess what? Rewrap it and give it to a charity. A lot of stores at Christmas have got wishing trees that you can put gifts under for other people. Someone else will love that. Just because someone's gifted you something doesn't mean you need to make a shrine of it in your house and keep it forever. It's okay, and it's totally fine for you to declutter stuff that doesn't make you feel good and stuff that's not part of your first class life. Now, what happens if all of this doesn't work? What if your Uncle Bob's like, hey, I heard about your business. It sounds like you're ripping people off. Or you get a terrible present and you think, for fuck's sake, why won't they ever buy something that I love? Or you just feel attacked from all angles and you're feeling terrible about yourself. Well, number 5 is for you, and it is to do some EFT, emotional freedom technique, otherwise known as tapping. Now, this has saved me many times in situations where I felt bad about myself. So you know what? If you're at your family's house and you're feeling triggered, you're feeling kind of crap, go into the bathroom and just do a little bit of tapping. Even though I have these feelings, even though my family are annoying, even though nobody loves me and buys me presents that I like, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then that way you can kind of feel responsible for your own feelings, and it might just be a temporary fix until you can get home, but that's okay. Just tap the F out of all of those feelings. Now, from my family to you, thank you so much for watching all of my blogs this year. This might even be your first one. You're like, who is this chick? But thank you so much for watching my blogs. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you get everything that you want under your tree. And hey, guess what? If you didn't get all the presents that you want, I give you permission to go out and buy them for yourself, because only really you are responsible for creating your first class life, and no one else can do it for you. So that's kind of an empowering thing. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and wish you absolutely the most amazing time ever, and a great new year as well. All right, bye. Hey, gorgeous lucky bee. Thanks for watching my video today, but if you need more Denise in your life, and who doesn't, then don't worry, I've got something extra special for you. I've just created a brand new Money Blocks workshop just for female entrepreneurs who want to work on their money mindset, because I've identified 7 main ways that entrepreneurs like you are blocking your income every day. Things like bartering, undercharging, and struggling with setting money boundaries. So you can sign up for this totally free money workshop at luckybitch.com/blocks and start unlocking everything holding you back from making money and creating the life of your dreams. Now, there's no fluff, just practical Virgo solutions and advice so you can clear those 7 pesky money blocks. You deserve to make great money in your business, and there has never been a better time like today to start clearing your money blocks. So sign up at luckybitch.com/blocks and start your clearing today.